7. The Taste of a Grape. Zook wakes the next night in his compartment under one of the seat rows, pressing on the latch to release it, opening it cautiously. The windows with a plastic guard blocking the sun are still up and Bud is driving the car up front. He rolls out of the small protected compartment to the middle floor, stretching what he can. He presses a button in the back to speak to Bud. The protective privacy shield is up, also blocking any sun. He presses it a couple of times to not freak out his driver. A deep voice calls back through the communication speaker.
Boss?
Status?
Just about there, boss, only 2 miles till the exit, and another 5 down the road.
Zook says groggily.
Good, thanks, it will give me some time to wake up.
Instinctively he knows that the sun has hidden again, and he can relax, but it is still so close to sunset. He keeps things closed and stretches a bit to get the discomfort out of his joints. He shakes his head from side to side, even thinking of himself as a dog. Perhaps he is excited about something new. He likely needs a large breed for the big guys to have something that will challenge them. They might be big enough to snap a bone in one that is too small. He gets his phone from off the bar where he keeps it so he doesn't snap it rolling around if it came to that, and checks messages and email. He got a text from Zant that he opens. News, not urgent, call after you check out the place. He sent back a text. Just pulled up to the place, will check things out and message soon. Minutes later, he feels the car turn off the highway and after a couple more minutes, he slides down the protective guard to look outside. The place definitely had the rural feel. 50 years ago in a place like this he'd find a general goods store. Now he just finds one of those cheap merchandise stores, old-fashioned barber, diner. They pass these up and turn on a dirt road after a sign that shows the vineyard they are looking for, the Taste of a Grape vineyard. Driving along the dirt road, they eventually pull up to a large building, ground floor looking like a store or farmer's market area. They weren't sure about the upper floors, but the ground floor has lights on, and it seems like an open place. It is fairly late at night, but there are a couple of other cars in a sort of makeshift lot of gravel around the front of the building. He walks in alone to check out the place. When he first walks in there is a bakery of bread, pies, and cookies, then the produce that has a little posting from which local farm they are grown. Near the back is the wine section and it is a large one, including of course a section for the vineyard's wine, but some other local farms as well, a smaller and less versatile section. A teen walks up to him looking around, and he looks around to see if anyone else is watching, which there is not. It is a late night for humans and there were only 2 store clerks, noted by wearing aprons with the vineyard name, and 3 customers but they were far apart. He looks at the aura of the clerk intently, being able to gauge whether this is just a regular kid or something special such as himself. He seems like a regular kid from what Zook can tell. He gazes intently at the boy's eyes to influence him, and he asks his new friend if they keep track of who buys wines somehow, any email or mailing list, or if possible more.
Sure, stranger. We keep an email list in our record so we can get out messages on sales or let some know when we have batches in stock. Are you wanting to get on the list?
No thanks, but I can be trusted, and you can show me the records you do use. I have someone I am looking to get some info on.
Really? Well, if you can be trusted that should be fine. We know a lot of our regulars by name. Who are you looking for?
The kid walks to another area, and Zook follows. There is a side room with a decades-old computer and a cutting area where they prepare fruit or salads for customers.
I only know her email. It is Fluffer's mama, and she has gotten some champagne here. Not sure if she has it mailed or if she drives out here. She has blonde hair and brown eyes. I have a picture of her.
He pulls out his cell and shows the picture. The teen replies.
Oh sure, that's Jessie. Where has she been?
He says this a bit loud for Zook's comfort, and he quiets down the kid.
She comes in here a couple of times a month or so, and she gets a pretty big set of champagne. I think she has a bit of a drinking problem, But who am I to judge? She was always real nice, always wanting to talk to everyone she walked into, including the farm staff. Almost like she does not get out of the house much.
Maybe, do you have her full name?
Sure, let me check.
He types a bit on the computer, looking at a spreadsheet of lists and email addresses.
Jessica Sanderson, sure, she comes in here pretty often. She changes the address pretty often when she does too, maybe every couple of months.
Kid, I need to know where else she has lived, it is pretty important. Do you have any older lists?
We save it as a just in case every few months, and email it to ourselves, just in case something nasty happens here, so we may have a couple of different places.
Getting his attention again, just to reaffirm the kid's attention, and the blood power manipulation.
You don't have to worry about me, no one else has to know, but I'm trying to help her, and she is in trouble. You should show me some of these files.
The kid doesn't see why not, and opens a few of the recent files, getting a few more addresses for this woman, now likely known as Jessica Sanderson. With a few more addresses, he can see if they can get more of a chain of companies, and see if there are any common threads. The place closes up soon.
Hey, tell me the truth, I know it might sound strange, but has anyone drunk your blood recently?
The teen strangely looks at him, but answers.
What do you mean, mister?
Drank your blood, has anyone bitten you, and you felt really good, but then felt a little weak after?
I'm not sure what you are talking about. I felt a bit woozy, and thirstier than usual after waking up over the past few months, but that is a usual thing, right? You should probably go, we are closing soon.
Do me a favor, kid, send a test email to me, I want to make sure my email is working through my phone.
He gives the email address that is the email of the vampire hacker that is within his organization, and tells him the subject should be from Z and to say, don't delete, in the body. Zook compels the boy to do so. He says that he did get that email, but he does not know if the hacker contact did. This is just a test to see if this is the location of the sender of the emails to this Jessica. Next, the boy is also directed to remove the email from the sent folder as well, just in case. Grasping one last time at the kid's eyes, he mystically directs him to change the last 15 minutes or so in his mind, that this strange guy in a beige coat was looking at the wines, and asks him a couple of basic questions. They both walk out of the employees-only section without anyone else strangely looking at them. On the way out, he goes back to the wine section, and gets a bottle of champagne, and brings it to the front. To leave at that point without buying anything would not just be rude, and it would be a reason to remember him easier. He pays in cash. At the register on the way out, there is a larger and heavily tanned man, completing the transaction ahead of Zook on his way out. The man has calluses and certainly looks the part of the farmer dad of the family. When the other customers are done, and Zook is left, he catches the eyes of the father and influences him as well, and he is glad once again that this all doesn't take blood for him to do.
Think nothing of this sort of question, but I'm wondering, has anyone been drinking your blood, or other family members' blood?
Not sure why you'd ask something so strange, city guy. The wife has told me about something strange as she has woken up over the past few nights thinking she is hearing something. And she has been really hungry at breakfast. Why were you at the computer with my boy?
Oh, it is nothing, don't worry, he wanted to show me something.
Zook walks out, not having to explain the situation. He also worries in regards to who might be hunting at this vineyard. He gets back to his car, gets in, and directs Bud to get moving. They might need to get back here eventually, but he does not yet know. Bud starts to drive back down the dirt road, and without prompting, presses the switch, to force the unused seat's bear traps to be set off, putting sharp spikes through the seats of the town car. Zook responds.
Good one, Bud, as a just in case.
Well, it must have just been my imagination.
What's that?
Nothing, boss, never mind.
Zook gets on the phone and calls Zant back.
Hello, boss, I have addresses we can check on for her, I have a name for her, Jessica Sanderson, and we can maybe get some more info off the addresses. If there are other companies that handle the rent on them, we can try to figure out more. I'll be back in the city in a couple of hours.
Next, he sent another email from his phone to the hacker's email account, to tell him to compare the IP address. He knew a few special computery words. To the emails sent to the victim, he had a possible feeling he might get a match.